Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this is the finale we've all been waiting for. This is a game played between Magnus, Carlsen and Hikarunakamura, one of the fiercest games ever, and that too in a speed chess championship. Definitely there's going to be a lot of blunders, a lot of insane gameplay. So without further ado, let's start with this game. It's an Armageddon game and Magnus shows the white pieces, or he won the bid, and now he only needs a draw to win the game. So Hikaru will be able to clinch the victory by beating Magnus in the finale, or Magnus will be able to draw the game. So let's see. And we have e4 by Magnus, and we have e5 by Hikaru. Knight to f3 and knight to c6. And we have knight to c3 going for 3 knights variation, and we have just g6, this being ghetto variation, and just d4. And now we have e captures, knight captures, and we transpose it to the Scotch game, and we have this bishop to g7. And we have bishop to e3, but just this knight to e7. And here, just going for this opening, Hikaru definitely gave Magnus a lot to choose for. He has his options open. He can just develop the queen, play f4, even go for this insane g4, and maybe play f5, maybe go for this h4 line and just castle queenside and start an immense attack. And he won't have to wait. He just has to play just 2 more moves and he'll be ready to go. So definitely giving Magnus that much in a speed chess championship is definitely not good. And here queen to d2 was played, definitely going for that idea, but just d6. And instead of this d6 move, the best for Hikaru was just going for this d5, just trying to go for this accurate play. And maybe after e captures, now you go for this knight captures, but after knight captures, b captures, knight captures, queen captures, and after castles, you cannot go for that. Hopefully none of you were considering that, because here just this will be checkmate. So maybe after a move like bishop to e6, but now you just trade. Queen captures, and after bishop captures, you just target the weak pawns by going for this bishop to f4. Now targeting that pawn, and now you're gonna have to defend, and the king hasn't castled yet. You can just develop the bishop, get the rooks into the game. It's an easy game for white. So definitely Hikaru trying to mix it up and goes for this d6, but now just castles by Magnus and just h6. And now we have bishop to e2, but just this bishop to e6. And now after rook h e1, we have queen to d7, and now you can see that all of Magnus's pieces are ready for that attack. You just have to push those pawns, and it's gonna be an easy game. But we saw in the speed chess championship, Hikaru has recovered easily from these troubled positions, so definitely not an easy win against Hikaru. So we have knight captures and just knight captures, but just knight to d5, just a great square for that knight. You cannot even trade, it just opens up file for further attacks. And after e6, we have this f4, just going for that attack, and we have queenside castle by Hikaru as well, but this is just this bishop to f3. And now after king to b8, we have king to b1, and just this rook h to e8. We have bishop to f2, but just rook to c8. And after rook to h4, all Magnus has to do is just trade more pieces, and Magnus is definitely in the mindset of that, because he just wants to play this knight, just trade that bishop, and after trading that bishop, it will be an easy game. But sometimes that's a trouble, because when you're in the mindset of a draw, it's very easy to make a mistake. And that's why Magnus missed this idea here. Instead of this bishop to h4, the best move was this queen to e3. And it's such a beautiful engine line, and definitely so difficult to spot, because after rook c d8, now you play this e5, just opening up the center. And after bishop to g4, you play this bishop captures, and after queen captures, just this e captures. And it's such a beautiful move, because here the queen is under attack and you're sacrificing the queen, but it's just impossible. You don't want to capture that queen, because if you go for this rook captures, then comes some beautiful d captures, and now that pawn is protected and the king has to move. So wherever the king moves, king to c8, but just the c captures. And now after knight captures, now you go for this bishop to e3, just grabbing that rook. And now it might seem like the material is equal, 2 rooks for the queen, and now you have 2 pieces. White has 2 pieces as well. It's just down a pawn, so maybe you can go some pawn grabbing with this queen captures on g2, but you have to think again, because if you go for this, then comes this knight to b6 check, and now you're in all sorts of trouble. You cannot go here because your knight just hangs. So holding on to that, king to c7, but just this rook to d7, and now you're parting with another piece. Here after king to c6, just rook captures, and it will be an easy victory from here onwards. So here definitely a lot of poison in the position, but Magnus didn't choose to go for that. He went for this rook to h4, maybe not wanting to complicate the position that much. So here knight to d4 was played, but just this knight to f6, and after bishop captures, have knight captures on f3, and after g captures. And here there's a spectacular tactic which temporarily makes you up a pawn and in a better position. Hikaru has survived the worst, and he spots this tactic in less than 2 seconds. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to ask you to spot this tactic. Hopefully you can find this one. So congratulations on everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is just this bishop captures. And after king, if you go for this king captures, then this move nicely connects with the king and the bishop, so you lose a piece. So definitely don't want to do that. So here, after this bishop captures was played, Magnus is played king to c1, and here this bishop moves back, and we have h4. trying to start something up on the queen side. We had this queen to b5 but just queen to d3, asking for a queen trade. If you trade the queens, then you have nothing in this position and no fighting chances at all. So here queen to a5 was played, trying to go for this, but now just queen to c3, not even bothered, but asking again for the queen trade, because even if you go for this, then the king moves and you have to move the queen back because the queen is under attack, and wherever you move, white will always be better because of this spectacular bishop. So here queen to h5 was played but just b3, and we have king to a8 but just king to b2, and we have queen to b5 but just h5, and now here queen caps on h5 was played but just rook to h1, and here definitely queen is going to move and white is going to gobble up that pawn. So queen to b5 but just rook caps on h6, and we have a5. Even after white has that amazing bishop controlling a lot of these squares, but it's black who's the one who's better in the position. Hikaru did not go for a better opening, but that's what he does. He does not go for a better opening, but if you're not able to find the correct move order, then in the end game, he's the one who's up with the better position. So if Hikaru is able to play accurate chess after this one, he's definitely winning the game and the event. So a lot at stake here. And with that here, rook to g1 was played, but now just b6, just trying to go for an attack, and we have this rook to g5, just eyeing that queen, but just stopping that and going all out with this c5, and not even caring about the king's safety, but just look at all these pawns. And here we have rook to h2 but just a4, just trying to bust open the king side, and we have this rook to d2, but just this is something that just does not work. Here the best move was this f5, and it's such a complicated move, and you have to play these complicated moves when you know that you're not better in the position, because after g captures you play this e captures, but after bishop to d5, yes, you play this rook to d2, just trying to eye that bishop, but this does not work as well because just a captures. And now if you dare to go for this bishop, then just comes this spectacular b captures with a check, and after king captures, just rook to e2 check. And yes, you can block, but this rook to c8, and now doubling up the rooks, you cannot do anything in this position. Here queen to a1 check, and king to b7 but just rook to g2, and now after rook to e1 just harassing that queen, we'll have this rook to d1 just blocking, but now the other rook joins the party as well. We have rook to e2 check, and here once you trade rook captures, queen captures, now you play this rook to d2 but just after queen to c4 check, now you play this queen to c3 but just queen to a4 check, and now you cannot block. If you block, then comes this spectacular rook to c1, and now you have to capture, you'll part with your queen. But the other way isn't that easy as well. So after king to d3, now you play this queen to b5 check, and now whatever you do, you have to block with the queen. There are no moves for the white king, so once you block, again you get this rook to e3, just deflecting the king and winning the queen. So after king captures, now you play queen captures, and now maybe after rook captures, you might think you have maybe sufficient compensation, but these two pawns are going to be just too much to bear for white. So definitely a lot of poison in the position, but here just rook to d2, and here a captures, and just opening up this file. And what I mean by that, you're definitely going to see in a few more moves, because after c captures was played, we have king to b7, just getting those rooks into the attack as well. Caps on d6 but just rook to e8, and after f5 we have this queen to f1, and f caps on e6 but just this rook to e1. Now you might think like this move is definitely a crushing move, queen to b1 is next coming, and there's not much white can do about that, and it might seem like that, except for there's just one problem, that white is absolutely crushing in this position. So pause the video and try to find this spectacular move which wins the game on the spot while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations for everyone who's able to find this move. It's not an easy one to spot, and Magnus could not even find this move on time. He was few seconds on the clock, cannot blame him, but it's just a spectacular move. So here the move is actually rook caps on b6 with check, and it's such a spectacular move. You cannot capture this. If you capture this, then just queen captures, and you definitely getting checkmated afterwards, because that comes with the tempo. So here king to a7, not trying to be greedy here. So after queen to d2, now just getting that queen. Now even if you capture this, then the queen comes in with a tempo as well. So now even now it does not work. So here queen to b1 check, trying to harass the white king, but just this king to c3, and this king to c3 move, king even being on c3, it's just so safe, because there's no checks in the position. There's not even any way to harass that king. So here f caps on e6, but now you go for this rook caps on c5, and now definitely this queen is going to join the party, and you're getting checkmated next. So after queen to c1 check, queen captures, and after rook captures, you go this king to b4, but now not capturing this piece but capturing this one. So here after king captures, now you play rook caps on c1, and you'd emerge a piece up and definitely completely winning. Magnus, in time trouble, did not find that move. Instead he went for this queen to c2, but here just how slowly tides can turn, and this move is actually a complete blunder by Magnus, because here Hikaru is completely winning and definitely winning the event if he spots just one move, and that move is just this beautiful rook to a2 check. And you cannot grab that rook. If you grab this, then this comes with a tempo, and whenever you move, you just get this beautiful checkmate. So maybe you can give up a queen and maybe have some sort of an endgame where you can try and make a fortress, but let's see how that goes down. If king starts to run away, you get this beautiful check, and maybe once the rook blocks, now you play this queen to a1 check, and now once the king moves, now you play this queen to f1 check. And only after, whenever the king moves, you just gobble up the queen, and here it's just a completely lost position. But with a few seconds on the clock, even Hikaru could not spot that tactic, and he played this rook to e8, just going for this checkmate. But now Magnus went for it. Magnus found the move, which is this rook to d7 check. And now only after Hikaru went for this king to c6, now Magnus found the correct idea, just sacrificing the rook and going for this endgame, which is just completely winning for him. With this tactic, with rook caps on c5 check, or only after b captures, now you go for this, even again sacrificing the other rook as well, which is this rook to c7 check. And after king captures, now you go for this queen to c5 check, and after king to b7, now you go for this queen to d5 check, and only now once the king moves, and now the king is completely wide open, Magnus can easily get the win here. Magnus can easily get the draw here. You cannot outrun those checks, but you don't even have to get a draw because it's just a mate in 6. Because here, wherever the king goes, if you go as Hikaru went here, but now just this bishop d5 check. But Magnus being Magnus, he only needs a draw, so he asked a draw in this position, and Hikaru obliged and plays a great to a draw, and it was an Armageddon game, so Magnus actually won the game and the event, snatching the crown from Hikaru, and with that he became the speed chess champion. And just to show you what the mate was in this position, if you go for king here, then this bishop check, and only after the king moves to the back rank, now you go for this check. And now only after, now you go for this king moves, now you have to take the king for a walk, because now there's queen to d7 check, and now you cannot go back because this will be checkmate. Queen covers the entire rank, so here you have to go up a board. And now after king to a6, now you go for this beautiful queen to c6 check, and now again you have to go up the board, but again the black king has been cut off, and here king moves up the board with that very nice bishop to c3 checkmate, a very nice bishop checkmate, with that queen cutting off the back ranks, taking that black king for a stroll. So yeah, with that, Magnus became the world speed chess champion, and definitely not an easy task taking down Hikarunakamura, but definitely it was a close call. It was a draw after so many games, and Hikaru had chances in this game, but he could not find that rook to a2, and with that, Magnus clinched the victory and the event. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be going to an amazing game, just roll, just stay tuned, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you.